Thank you very much, George. This is actually my first interview. I feel like I should say that. I get that on film, for prosperity. So. Thank you very much
Yeah, thanks.
for taking some time out of your day today to talk about your series, George Goes Everywhere, currently available on millionstories.com. So my name is Kristen. My website, genymama.com, focuses on family travel and family entertainment. So your series is perfect for me. So I wanted to ask you how you got started. I know you had your YouTube channel and you had some travel content on there already. So where did George Goes Everywhere? Where did that stem from?
Well, I think it stemmed from my personal experiences, just kind of always wanting to travel and not necessarily having the budget for it and having to get creative. And so, I've worked in TV for many years. And so at a certain point, it kind of just made sense to combine those two aspects of my life and create a show like this.
You seem very comfortable in front of the camera. Like you're very fun to watch. Did you have previous experience like on TV before, or just like your YouTube videos, or what? You're very comfortable on camera. It's very fun.
Just on YouTube, I'm never on TV or anything. Um, uh, yeah, I mean, but I'm not acting. There's no, it's just me. So that I'm not an actor. I don't know how to act. I just kind of be myself, and you know,
Yeah, it comes you come off great. And do you travel when you were filming? Because I'm sure it's on hold now. But were you traveling with a crew, or was it just kind of you by yourself, or how did you go from city to city?
there were two of us. It was myself and had a field producer with me. Um, she because we had to get there's behind the scenes stuff, releases, and there's paperwork involved. Um, but when we're on the road, I primarily do all the camera work myself. I kind of do the selfie cam
Mhm.
primarily, or I have a suction cup tripod thing that I can stick to like windows on the side of buildings. Uh,
Okay, yeah, because sometimes you are hands free,
yeah,
so.
yeah. I have this suction cup tripod. It's like $20. It's worth its weight in gold because anytime there's just an office building or something, I can just stick that right to the side. Or if there's a tile, some sort of non-porous surface, stick that right there, and I'm good to go. Yeah.
I like it. Okay. So the concept of George Goes Everywhere, you spend $100 in each city. How did you come up with
Mhm.
the cap of $100? And did you ever have trouble like sticking under? I mean, no spoilers. I know New York got a little hairy. You were trying to get some extra funds at the end, but did you ever feel like, I wish it was 150 or maybe even 200?
Well, we landed on 100. It felt like a nice round number, and it's a number. It's neither a small amount of money or a large amount of money. It felt like it kind of threaded that needle of the amount someone could realistically afford if they're traveling. Um, and as for the cap, yeah, like you said, New York got a little tricky. Some of the other cities, Chicago, there were, some of these more expensive cities, but I didn't really have any problems. I mean, also, I don't look towards, the fancy restaurants. I just kind of, accept that I'm not going to the Michelin star restaurant in the city. It's just not happening. Uh, and I just kind of accept that, and I lean into it. And so I usually can find plenty of fun stuff for under the $100 cap.
Yeah, and I think even your show is great for someone who lives in a city that you were lucky enough to film in, because you don't hit the typical like tourist stuff. So it could be someone living in there and be like, I didn't know that was there, and they could definitely pick up some new restaurants to try or some places to go to too.
Yeah, that I hear that a lot. It's one of my favorite things to hear actually is someone who lives in a city and they watch the show and they say, "I've never heard of any of this stuff. What? I've lived here for 20 years and I've never heard of this." I'm like, "Yes, that means I hit my mark."
Now, obviously, like I said, on hold right now. But once you're comfortable, once things start opening up again, are you hoping to film more episodes?
Absolutely. I'd love nothing more than to keep going. It's hard to really predict things
Mhm.
these days, but yeah, there's still plenty of cities that I'd love to hit and make episodes in.
Now, do I have this correct? Are you originally from New Jersey?
I am, yes.
Me too.
Okay.
So I know you went to New York. Do you think you might ever film an episode in New Jersey? Do you have a particular spot location that you might focus on if you were to film in New Jersey?
I mean, I have thought about it. I think because I thought about doing something on my personal YouTube channel years ago. It never happened, but I thought about doing something involving the Jersey Shore
Okay, yeah.
because it needs a bit of it needs some uh, positive content made about it. It's taken a beating in the media the past decade or
Yeah.
so. Uh,
Not necessarily from New Jersey's fault, maybe from some,
but yeah, so I thought that's not a city that Then I explain this to people. They're like, Jersey Shore, is it like the show? And I'm like, no, the Jersey Shore is like 100 miles long. It's a large area.
one city that was focused
It
on.
was the worst part of the Jersey Shore. They went to Seaside Heights, which is just, no. Um, I explain that to people all the time. I need to make some content rehabilitating the Jersey Shore's image.
And maybe explaining that there's North Jersey, South Jersey, and then Central Jersey.
It's debatable about Central Jersey, but where are you from in Jersey?
I am from Central Jersey, so I like to claim that it exists.
Okay.
But about a half an hour out from the Jersey Shore, about Point Pleasant was where we always went to. We didn't go as far down the parkway as Seaside.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm from up north, Paramus, up
Okay, yeah, great mall.
several great malls. But yeah, I'm full Jersey. I went to Rutgers for college.
Okay, yeah.
I'm full on Jersey.
Yeah. So I graduated from New Jersey City University. That's where I had my degree from.
My mom went there.
Oh my gosh. See, once Jersey, always Jersey, right? I always get called out for my accent, but um, so let me think. Now I've got a little sidetracked with talking Jersey, but now the show focuses spending money once you're in the city. Do you have any tips for finding on the budget hotels or on the budget airfare to get to the city? Or
I mean, it's not a focus of this show. I'm a big frequent flyer miles guy as well, outside of the show. So I've used those pretty extensively in my travels. Um, Beyond that, I mean, it's a focus of the show is about doing research and putting in time beforehand and really doing your homework and finding fun things to do that way and not just winging it, because if you wing it, you're probably going to get stuck doing, touristy things or tourist trap spots that charge $27 for a cheeseburger. I think that lesson applies to flights and hotels as well.
Mhm.
You know, track trends, look at when maybe time of the year it's a little lesser. I think some people don't like to travel during the winter. I like traveling in the winter. Go to New York in the middle of the winter when it's cold, or I think that's fun. People only want to travel in the summer. Travel in the winter. Why not? Go to the cold weather destination. See what that's like. I think it's fun.
Do you think something can also be said for going places in the middle of the week, like a Wednesday versus trying to hit a popular city on a Saturday?
For sure. I mean, yeah, the weekday prices will be, much cheaper. I mean, if you want to, if you can take the time, if you have that flexibility with your job, I mean,
Mhm.
that's a wonderful idea. I've sometimes looked at hotels in Vegas, and you see, weekends it's 150, then weekday it's like 40. It's like,
Wow.
geez,
How can I say no?
yeah.
When you were filming the show, what was were you on a schedule? Was it kind of like research 3 days, travel and film, or how many days did you give yourself to research, or how far in advance were you researching a place before you went there?
Uh, I was researching several, probably a couple weeks before we were there. A part of that is also because in doing a show, we need to get permission to shoot there, and so there are some logistical aspects that forced me to do it in advance.
Mhm.
Um, but I put in, probably in a given city, at least, a couple hours, probably at least 5, maybe more hours researching, kind of digging into a place and seeing what is cool there. As for traveling itself, we were there for 3 days, uh,
Okay.
two full days of shooting, and then 3 nights. Um, and that was pretty scheduled because we were on the clock. Uh,
Mhm.
but yeah, it was a fun time.
Now, did you ever find? I know there were sometimes you found restaurants through word of mouth. Did you ever get told something once you were there that you were like, "Oh, I didn't hear about this. This was really cool." Was it more so restaurants, or was there any like attraction or space that you got told through once you were there, or did you already kind of know everything?
I had a pretty good idea. The one real notable spot was in the Houston episode. We went to a restaurant called Irma's, and that was told to us by our contact at the NASA Space Center, our Space Center Houston, that we went
Mhm.
to. The social media coordinator over there. We were chatting with him, and he just mentioned that place because we were looking into some other place. There was a Vietnamese place we were looking into in Houston. We had trouble contacting them, so we were just gonna go there and see if we could shoot there. And he was like, "Have you heard of Irma's?" We're like, "No." He's like, "Oh yeah, this Irma, it's great." And we're like, "Huh, okay." And so I think we just literally gave them a call in the car from the Space Center Houston and called them up. They're like, "Yeah, come on by," and we did, and it was great.
Awesome. I think probably my spot that I found the most interesting was the laundromat that also served alcohol, and the fact that there was more than one.
They're everywhere. They're
Just
everywhere. I was looking into that episode and I said, and I saw that, I'm like, laundromat bar? That's so strange. And I kept listening, and another one? And another one? They're everywhere.
what are you gonna do while you're waiting for your clothes?
They're not wrong. I mean, I think they're onto something.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Did you ever um let me think how I want to say this. I know you try some food while you're there. Did you ever eat something and then film it and feel like this can't make the cut, or you try to be honest? Like, I know there's something like I'm not gonna finish this. Like this.
No, I try to be honest. I one thing that you see a lot of travel shows, and sometimes you see these hosts, and you'd think they've never had a bad meal in their entire life.
Yeah.
Like, you watch this, and everything's amazing, and it's like, come on, you must have had something that wasn't that great. And so to that end, I mean, I seek out good food, but sometimes it's not so good. I mean, in the New Orleans episode again, I got turtle soup, which
I
was
found it. I'm not gonna finish that.
and I'm glad I did it though. I'm glad I had it. There's I don't know if you saw the Chicago episode. Uh,
Yes.
there's a Jepson's Malort. It's a drink. It's an alcohol, and it's known for being bad. Like that's kind of
Mhm.
the point, is how bad
Yeah.
it is, and it's something of a Chicago rite of passage. That it was just awful, but I had to put it in there.
Experience. It's all about, the prosperity. This is I'm trying it. This is
Exactly. Yeah.
well, thank you so much for your time. Again, that's George Goes Everywhere is on millionstories.com. And thank you very much, George.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.